Welcome to the workshop Do Research Like a Munchkin, aka software development practices applied to computational research. During this workshop, you will study and more importantly practice two main concepts: agile project management and clean code. What we will try to do is learn how to be more efficient in research while having fun. Let's get to know each other. My name is Eiji Kawasaki. I did a PhD in computational physics. Then I moved to the private sector in a French company called Safran that mainly does aircraft engines. Then I moved to my current position as a researcher in artificial intelligence. I'm currently working in a French institute called CA. One fun fact about me, so I'm half French, half Japanese, and I was born and raised in Italy. And I'm a big food lover from these two countries and all the cuisines.
Hi, my name is Francesco Calcavecchia, and I am also a physicist like Eiji. As a matter of fact, that's why we know each other. It's because we were working in the same research group. I did my PhD and postdoc in quantum Monte Carlo methods applied to condensed matter and electronic structure systems. After this, I moved into the private sector. My first job was as a data scientist in a company named Dilax, where I was using public transportation data to enable smart city services. After 1 year, I changed and moved into another company, DB Schenker, which is one of the world leaders in the logistics sector. And my position is still as a data scientist. Enough about the boring stuff, let's talk about the fun fact. So, fun fact about me, I'm a D&D player. So for the people who don't know it, it means Dungeons and Dragons player. So Dungeons and Dragons is a role-playing game where people gather together and using only pen, paper, and dice start setting up a fantasy world and setting up a fantasy stories where the players play the main characters or heroes of the story, and one of the player who has a special role named Master will describe the setting and the villains of the stories and so on. So I just want to mention and clarify that I don't do this to fulfill the stereotypes of the Big Bang Theory TV series. As a matter of fact, I started playing this when I was, I think, 14 or 15, so way before this TV series came out. So yeah, I'm one of these weird guys that meets with other weird guy in the evening and talk about this weird stuff, yes.
Now that you know something about me and Francesco, it would be nice if you could introduce yourself publicly in the chat so that all participants know your name, your research activity, and if possible, something funny about you or a special hobby, so that we all get to know each other a little better. Let's start this workshop with the story of a cup of coffee. I was visiting Francesco in Germany and we're discussing about the fact that we both switch from university to the private sector. And we brought with us our knowledge, especially technical, to the research and development sector in these companies. But we also discovered plenty of techniques, especially about code and project management. And we were saying that it was really a pity that we didn't know these techniques during the PhDs and postdocs. So the idea of this workshop came to be. The idea is to bring this knowledge from the private sector to public research concerning mainly clean code and agile project management. I will give you a few tips in order to fully enjoy the workshop. First, you have to know that the topics we will cover are not fully established in research. What it means is that you won't find a book explaining to you how to apply agile concepts in the context of public research. But of course, the topics we will cover are fully established in their own field, so that we will give you references, and I would suggest that you focus on listening and practicing. Practicing is the most important part of this workshop. Lastly, some topics may sound more interesting than others to you now, but I would still suggest that you really focus and try to learn all the topics we will cover, because they are really all connected. And so in the end, we hope to show you that, for example, Clean Code and Agile project management are really two sides of the same coin. You will learn by practicing from the very beginning. You will start working on a research problem. And little by little, we will give you tools. So for example, Git, Agile Manifesto, test-driven development, so that in the end, our goal is not to have you produce some fancy research results, but our end goal is that every single team works fully agile and writes clean code. This is the end of the introduction. We're very happy to have you on board. Let's begin and let's have fun.